In the first video, I talk about constant Tao. And in this video, I'll be talking about another key theme of Daodejing, Wuwei. Wuwei is commonly translated as non-action or effortless action. So let's explore if that's the meaning of Wuwei in the context of Daodejing. Perhaps it's different in the book of Zhuangzi, Nanhua Jing, but I'll be focusing on Daodejing here. So let's explore if that's the meaning of Wuwei. There is Wei and there is Wuwei. To understand Wuwei, we can first start with understanding Wei. Because Wuwei basically means absence of Wei or without Wei. So what is Wei? Wei literally means acting, doing, or for something. Okay, it can also mean for something. So there are two general meanings of Wei. And Wei first appears in Daodejing in section 2. Okay, the first 3 lines of section 2. When all under heaven discriminatively attachedly know beauty, as that of a definitive beauty to act strive for, is bad already. Some of you who are familiar with Chinese might have spotted Wei here. Okay, this is Wei, which means to act, strive for. So Wei Mei here means to act, strive for beauty. Okay, a specific or definitive beauty. Second line, when all discriminatively attachedly know goodness, as that of a definitive goodness to act, strive for, it's not good already. Again, we see Wei here. Okay, to act, strive for. So second line is Wei San, to act, strive for goodness, or specific goodness or definitive goodness. Okay, to act, strive for. So why so? Because being and non-being birth each other. So Wei is an acting and striving for something specific, which is due to discriminative knowledge. So it seems like Wei is a combination of acting, doing, and for something. So it's acting, doing for something. So what's the problem with Wei? Okay, perhaps we can first consider the issue of beauty and goodness, especially that of a definitive beauty and definitive goodness. Is there anything that can actually be named as definitive beauty goodness, which is absolute and constant? Or is beauty, goodness, relative and changing? Okay, for instance, ice cream, definitively delicious. Maybe ice cream is your favorite food. The first cone of ice cream, very delicious. The next one, maybe still delicious. Third one, maybe not so. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Probably by the ninth one it might not be your favorite food at that moment. Okay? And ginseng. Some people say ginseng is very good. But is it very good for everyone? Okay? Or perhaps when your body is very heaty, should you be taking ginseng? So perhaps it's relative and changing. It's the same thing with beauty. Is gold definitively beautiful? Okay, if you paint your whole house of gold, even the grass also turns gold, the sky turns gold, all the trees turn gold, everything is gold in color. It is still beautiful. And Nicole Kidman, definitively sexy? Maybe sexy to some people. But do fishes find Nicole Kidman sexy? Do birds find Nicole Kidman sexy? So beauty, is it relative and changing too? So that's an issue to think about, okay, with regards to the problem of Wei. Perhaps in acting and striving for, we must know that the things that we are acting and striving for is not absolutely good or absolutely beautiful. Another issue is this: when all under heaven discriminatively attachedly know, why will all know that? Okay, if people are different, why will all know that same specific beauty as that of a definitive beauty to act strive for? Similarly, goodness, all discriminatively attachedly know goodness as that of a definitive goodness. Why will all know that? Probably because of 学, ideological education indoctrination. Okay, when everyone knows sort of like the same thing, there might be some ideological education or indoctrination at work. Okay, like capitalism is good, like communism is beautiful. Okay, such ideological education or indoctrination. This often works with regards to governance, because one of the ways of governance is to name what's good and beautiful, and then to encourage people to act and strive for that. Okay, so this is one of the issues we need to think about with regards to Wei, okay, acting and striving for. So the implication seems to be that ideological education indoctrination leads all to know a certain type of beauty and goodness. Okay, there's a discriminative knowledge, and with that it leads to people acting and striving for that beauty and goodness. And according to Daodejing, the outcome is bad, not good. Okay, like a teacher standing here saying that capitalism is good, communism is bad, or communism is good, capitalism is bad. This is beautiful, that is ugly. So such sequence seems to lead to an outcome of bad, not good, according to Daodejing. And what's the textual reason for Wei, okay, acting striving for something that will lead to its opposite outcome? Okay, what is the line in the text that says so? Okay, it's actually in the same section, section 2, part 1. 故有无相生, because being and non-being birth each other. Okay, you can say it's neatly captured by this Taiji tool here, where if you look at the major white patch here, the major yang, there's actually a minor yin arising from it. And as the minor yin grows to become the major yin, there arises the minor yang. So being and non-being birth each other. And in acting, striving for beauty, goodness, it arises the opposite. So this is the first 3 lines. Okay, when all under heaven discriminatively, attachedly know beauty, as that of a definitive beauty to act strive for, is bad already. When all discriminatively, attachedly know goodness, as that of a definitive goodness to act strive for, is not good already. Because being and non-being birth each other. And this is Wei here. Okay, to act, strive for something specific. So Wei in the context of Daodejing is an acting and striving for that is due to discriminative knowledge, and which has an inclination to arise the opposite. So that is perhaps why Wuwei might be closer in meaning to non-striving for or non-discriminative action, okay, rather than non-action or effortless action. Perhaps the sage ruler might need to apply a lot of effort in order to arrive at the state of Wuwei. Okay, that might be a possibility. And Wuwei is also an aspect of constant Tao. It is from section 37, part 2. As you can see here, Tao is constantly without discriminative action. Okay, Wuwei. So it seems like Wuwei is an aspect of constant Tao. Tao is constantly without discriminative action, and so there is nothing that Tao does not act for. So Tao does not act discriminatively for anyone specific or does not act for anyone specific. And so there is nothing that Tao does not act for. This is what it means. This is similar also to section 2, part 3, where it said that sages deal with the matter of non-discriminative, non-attached action. Okay, sages actually deal with this matter. So perhaps they have to put in effort. They actually have to act for non-discriminative, non-attached action. And practice the teaching that's without words, instructions, ideologies. The 10,000 things are allowed to work tasks without exception, rejection. Kind of like the rainbow here. Perhaps there's no tangible benefit of having a rainbow, but it still happens, okay? Not just because it's useless and so it's rejected or discarded. That's not the way of Tao, okay? Because Tao is constantly without discriminative action. And the 10,000 things are allowed to work tasks without exception, rejection. So we come to the interesting part. How do sages actually deal with the matter of non-discriminative, non-attached action? 处无为之事. Do you actually need to discriminatively act for this non-discriminative action? So let's look at section 3, part 3, and part 4. Constant is ensuring that the populace is devoid of discriminative knowledge and desire craving. So the sage actually has to ensure that the populace is devoid of discriminative knowledge and ensure that the populace is devoid of desire craving. So there's this ensuring, devoid of discriminative knowledge and devoid of desire craving. Not just that, the sage ruler also has to ensure that those with discriminative knowledge dare not act upon their craving. So another thing to ensure, that those with discriminative knowledge dare not act upon their craving. And interestingly, this is called Wei Wu Wei, to act for no discriminative action, or discriminatively act for no discriminative action for. Okay, sounds like a paradox, but that's how it works. Okay, act for no discriminative attached action, then there's nothing that cannot be remedied, governed. Okay, if you see the word remedied, governed, is from 治, which has to do with illnesses. Okay, if you remember our first video, we talked about medicine. So there is the illness of discriminative knowledge and craving. And the way to treat it is to act for no discriminative action. Kind of reminds of Old Testament, especially the discriminative knowledge part. Because in the book of Genesis, it's said that there's this tree of knowledge. And when Adam and Eve ate the fruit of the tree of knowledge, they gained the discriminative knowledge of good and evil. And so they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden, which is like paradise. They can no longer stay in this paradise. It also reminds of Buddhism, okay, especially the craving part. In Buddhism, we have the Four Noble Truths, and it's stated in the second noble truth that craving is a key cause of suffering. And in order to end suffering, we have to end craving. Okay? And that is talked about in the fourth truth, the truth of the way to end suffering. So with regards to Wuwei, okay, discriminatively acting for, no discriminative acting for. And with that, in regards to that, it seems like maybe the sage of Daodejing is more like a religious leader, okay? Or also the governance of Daodejing is more like spiritual politics. Because the governance of the sage is actually to relieve people of discriminative knowledge and relieve people of craving. So although it's a political problem, the solution is actually spiritual in nature or religious in nature. And I think it makes a lot of sense because a lot of systems or administrative solutions that we come up with to political problems, they tend to probably work well in the beginning, but get corrupted eventually. Why? Because the main illness of discriminative knowledge and craving, they are still there. As long as people are discriminative and people are craving and greedy, whatever administrative solutions instituted, they can't really solve the issue for long. Other problems will crop up. So although a political problem, we need a spiritual solution. And this, in essence, is what Wuwei is about. Okay, to discriminatively act for no discriminative action. Okay, the translations are taken from my book. You can read it for free at this website, my Google site. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.